Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chuchu as a Ranker. So, the Battle of Britpop was an event that took place back in 1995 when Oasis and Blur released lead singles for their new albums on the same day. But why should the battle be limited to just one song? And why should Blur and Oasis be the only ones involved? Let's broaden the conflict and let's have ourselves a fatal four-way between the big four of Britpop, namely Oasis, Blur, Pulp and Suede. And we're going to be waging this battle in the form of a knife fight to the death between the drummers. No, wait, that's not right. No, we're going to be having a tournament instead. And it's going to go in chronological rounds, debuts against debuts, sophomore albums against sophomore albums, and so on. There's going to be a point system involved, which is pretty self-explanatory, and basically the band with the most points at the end of the run will be declared the definitive winner of Britpop. Of course, I'm joking about the definitive part. I mean, this concept is incredibly flawed, and the whole thing is just total nonsense. So basically, please take it in the spirit that it's intended in, as just a bit of meaningless fluff that hopefully should also be a little fun. So, without further ado, let's be complete rankers and rank up a storm. This is the Battle of Britpop! So here we go, round 1, the battle of the debut albums, and in this round we have Leisure by Blur from 1991, Definitely Maybe by Oasis from 1994, the self-titled LP from Suede from 1993, and It by Pulp from 1983. And in this round we have 2 5-star records, so all to play for. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in 4th place and taking home 1 solitary point, we have Leisure by Blur. So this is half baggy, half grunge. It's a bit of a swampy, overcooked mess of an LP. There are a few good tracks on it, but overall, this just isn't really an auspicious start from Blur. Coming in 3rd and taking home 2 points, we have It by Pulp. So this was released in 1983 and literally has nothing to do with Britpop. But hey, mum's the word, let's keep that under our hat because it's just going to make the tournament look even more pointless than it already is. But for what this album is, it's 7 tracks and 25 minutes of a lovely jangle record. Not much else to say about it, it's pretty good. Coming in 2nd place and taking home 3 points, we have Definitely Maybe by Oasis. So this has a really cool, distorted swagger to it. It kicked off that whole kind of subculture of laddishness in Britpop. And yeah, it's just full of classic tunes from start to finish. A genuine 5-star classic of a Britpop album. Great stuff. Coming in 1st and taking home the full 4 points, we have the self-titled album by Suede. So this is often considered to be the first real Britpop record. It's got some really great glammy singles on it, but also these sweeping, more emotional, atmospheric pieces. It's just a flawless record from start to finish, 5 stars and an easy winner of this particular debut round. So, all eyes to the scoreboard. Obviously, there's not much to report because, well, there's only been 1 round, so it's just the points are basically the same as the ranking. Suede are in 1st place with 4 points, Oasis are in 2nd place with 3 points, Pulp are in 3rd place with 2 points, and bringing up the rear in 4th place, we have Blur with 1 point. Let's move on to round 2. Round 2, Battle of the Sophomore Albums coming at you thick and fast, and in this round we have Modern Life is Rubbish by Blur from 1993, What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis from 1995, Dogman Star by Suede from 1994, and Freaks by Pulp from 1987. And in this particular round we have 3 5-star records, so this is going to be a big one. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in 4th place and taking home a solitary point, we have Freaks by Pulp. Anybody who watched my Pulp ranking knows my feelings on this record. It is just unlistenable shit sent from the very depths of hell. Fuck this record. 1 star. Coming in 3rd place and taking home 2 points, we have Modern Life is Rubbish by Blur. So here Blur turn in a more kind of ultra British Kinks direction, but they haven't quite come across that bouncing pop sound that they've become famous for in the middle of the Britpop period. So this is very much a rockist record. It really kicks ass. It's super consistent. Many great tracks on this. 5 stars. Awesome stuff. Coming in 2nd place and taking home 3 points, we have Dogman Star by Suede. So this is just a grandiose, sweeping art rock record. It's pretentious as all hell, but I really love its scope and ambition. I think it's a masterpiece. 5 stars. Coming in first place and taking home the full 4 points, we have What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis. And yeah, this is just one of the most iconic records of the 90s, has more classic songs than you can shake the proverbial stick at. Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, some might say, Roll With It, Cast No Shadow, Champagne Supernova, What's the Story Morning Glory, the title track, yet it is a magnificent nostalgic piece of Britpop, 5 stars. So, all eyes to the scoreboard, and yeah, we are all tied up. Oasis and Suede are tying in first place with 7 points each, while Blur and Pulp are tied for third place with 3 points each, all to play for in the next round. Round 3, and third albums are usually quite important. They often show you if the band have legs or not, and in this round we have Park Life by Blur from 1994, Be Here Now by Oasis from 1997, Coming Up by Suede from 1996, and Separations by Pulp from 1992. And in this round we have a solitary 5-star record. So, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in fourth place and taking home a solitary star, we have Be Here Now by Oasis. And my ears are bleeding. I might have to go to the hospital. Thank you very much, Oasis. Kiss my ass. Take your 1.5 stars and fucking do one. Coming in third place and taking home 2 points, we have Separations by Pulp. Here, Pulp are taking a big leap towards their classic sound, albeit probably with a bit too much 90s acid house in there. There are some good tracks on this, there are some bad tracks on this. It's all over the place, to be honest, but I am going to be kind and give it 3 stars. It's alright. Coming in second place and taking home 3 points, we have Park Life by Blur, which was the band's big mainstream breakthrough. Also, this is the record where they come across that really upbeat, kind of bouncing pop sound. Plenty of iconic singles on this. Girls and Boys, End of a Century, Park Life, This Is a Low, To the End. Fantastic stuff. 4 stars, but not quite as good as everybody seems to think it is. Coming in first place and taking home the full 4 points, we have Coming Up by Suede. So, guitarist Bernard Butler is out the door, guitarist Richard Oakes is in the door, and this is just a pristine set of 10 perfect pop songs. There are 5 top 10 singles on this. It's incredibly consistent, incredibly nostalgic. I absolutely love this record. 5 stars. So, all eyes to the scoreboard, and things are really kind of starting to take shape. Suede are in first place with 11 points, Oasis are in second place with 8 points, Blur come in third with 6 points, and dragging their knuckles on the ground like a rabid monkey, we have Pulp in last place with 5 points. Let's move on to round 4. Round 4, and in round 4 we have The Great Escape by Blur from 1995, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants by Oasis from the year of 2000, Head Music by Suede from 1999, and His and Hers by Pulp from 1994. Unfortunately, no 5-star albums in this round. Boo! But are you ready? On 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in fourth place and taking home a solitary point, we have Standing on the Shoulder of Giants by Oasis, and this is a record that's so dull that I just don't want to waste any more of my precious time talking about it, so I won't. 2 stars. Coming in third and taking home 2 points, we have Head Music by a cocaine-addled, smack-addicted version of Suede. Most people really don't like this record. I absolutely love it. I think it's tons and tons of fun with many great songs, so controversially, I'm going to give this 4 stars. Coming in second and taking home 3 points, we have His and Hers by Pulp, and this is the moment where Pulp properly arrive in their classic sense, and it's absolutely fantastic. Not a bad track on this, and you have classics like Babies, Lip Gloss, and Do You Remember the First Time? Better late than never, eh boys? 4 stars. Coming in first and taking home the full 4 points, we have The Great Escape by Blur. So I think this is a very underrated record. It has a bright, upbeat kind of soundscape, yet if you look closer, has a real streak of darkness running underneath everything. Also, some of Blur's very best songs are on this. Country House, The Universal, Charmless Man, He Thought of Cars. Yeah, absolutely love this one. It's a almost perfect pop record. 4.5 stars for this. So, all eyes to the scoreboard. Suede are maintaining their position at the top with 13 points. Blur, however, have risen to second place with 10 points, Oasis dropping down to third place with 9 points, and gaining a little ground but still in last place we have Pulp with 8 points. Let's get ready for round 5. Round 5. So fifth albums are kind of like a watershed moment. It's the point where your early career is officially finished, maybe critical expectation starts to fall a little bit, and you might need to change up your sound in order to stay relevant. So let's see how these bands cope at this particular point in their career. And in this round we have the self-titled album by Blur from 1997, Heathen Chemistry by Oasis from 2002, A New Morning by Suede, also from 2002, and A Different Class by Pulp from 1995. And in this round you have one banging 5-star classic, no prizes for guessing which album that is. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fart! Coming in fourth and taking home a solitary point, we have A New Morning by Suede. And on this, Brett Anderson is free of his crack addiction, but also seemingly free of his ability to write good songs. Most of the songs on this are pretty piss poor, and this is just the moment where Suede just ran out of energy, ran out of passion. You know, the tank is empty, there's not much really there. There are a couple of good songs on this, and the record isn't completely awful, so 2.5 stars. Coming in third and taking home 2 points, we have the self-titled album by Blur. So this is the point where Blur put aside the Britpop sound and go in a more kind of lo-fi art rock experimental direction, and there are plenty of bangers on this. Beetlebum, Song 2, On Your Own, Death of a Party, all really fantastic. But there are also a bunch of songs on this that just feel undercooked, underbaked, and they don't really do anything for me. This is an album where I like to cherry pick the best tracks and just kind of like ignore the rest. But I do enjoy the artistic impetus of this record, so I'm going to be kind and give it 3 stars. Coming in second place and taking home 3 points, we have Heathen Chemistry by Oasis. So this is basically Oasis paint by numbers, and because of that, lots of people consider this to be the weakest Oasis record. I absolutely do not agree with that. Yes, it is the typical Oasis sound, but I think they're doing it really well on this. The production is pretty good, and there are plenty of great tracks, including some of my favorite Oasis tracks. Little by Little, Songbird, The Hindu Times, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, Born on a Different Cloud, Hung in a Bad Place, all really good tracks. Yeah, I think this is a really solid Oasis record. And if not a return to form, then it is a general bounce back in quality, 3.5 stars. Coming in first, we have A Different Class by Pulp. So this is a voyeuristic working class masterpiece which has some of the best lyrics you'll ever hear in your entire life, and stuffed full of truly iconic singles like Common People, Disco 2000, Sorted for Ease and Whiz. But the album cuts don't slack off either. You have tracks like I Spy, Pencil Skirt, Underwear, Live Bed Show. It is an absolutely fantastic 5-star masterpiece, one of the best albums of the 90s, full stop. Excellent stuff. So if I may direct your attention away from my bulging package towards the scoreboard, because Suede are still maintaining their grip on the top with 14 points, but Oasis, Blur and Pulp, they're all tied with 12 points. All to play for in the next round, it seems. Round 6, and in round 6 we have 13 by Blur from 1999, Don't Believe the Truth by Oasis from 2005, Bloodsports by Suede from 2013, and This Is Hardcore by Pulp from 1998. And in this round we again have one solitary 5-star classic. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in fourth place and taking home a solitary point, we have Don't Believe the Truth by Oasis. So on this, Oasis are dialing back the distortion. This has a much cleaner soundscape, which allows the tracks to breathe a little more, and it does have some good songs in it, like The Importance of Being Idle and Layla. But generally speaking, I just think this is ignorable fluff. It's perfectly pleasant, but no more than that. 3 stars. Coming in third and taking home 2 points, we have Bloodsports by Suede, which was the band's comeback record after a decade away. And yeah, it's fantastic. Here they focus right on the core of their sound. The opening half of the record is full of these shimmering pop singles like Barriers, and It Starts and It Ends With You, and the second half is reserved for the more kind of emotional, atmospheric stuff. I think it's a really solid comeback album that was basically guaranteed to please Suede fans. 4 stars. Coming in second place and taking home 3 points, we have This Is Hardcore by Pulp. So this is basically the record after the party. It's really dark and difficult, but purposely so. I think this is Pulp trying to purposely alienate some of their more casual fans. Of course, the lyrics, as always, are absolutely fantastic, and plenty of great tracks on this. This is Hardcore, Party Hard, Help the Aged, Dishes, Sylvia, plenty of great material. 4 stars. Coming in first place and taking home the full 4 points, we have 13 by Blur. So this is Blur pushing the art rock sound to its logical conclusion. Lots of experimentation on this, but also this is the moment where Damon Albarn broke up with Justine Frischmann, so there are also lots of heartbreaking lyrics and really sad, dour soundscapes. I absolutely love it. It's really atmospheric. It's just basically art rock perfection in my opinion. 5 stars. Love this record. So, all eyes on the scoreboard because changes afoot. Blur have finally tied up with Suede at the top with 16 points each. Pulp is a pubic hair away with 15 points, now having moved up into 3rd place, while Oasis has dropped down to 4th place with 13 points. Round 7. So this is the last round to feature Oasis and Pulp. So if Oasis want to beat Pulp on the podium, they really need to pull something special out of the bag. And in this round we have Think Tank by Blur from 2003, Dig Out Your Soul by Oasis from 2008, Night Thoughts by Suede from 2016, and We Love Life by Pulp from 2001. So this is actually the weakest round of any of these rounds. No 5-star records, nothing even close to 5 stars on this. So are you ready? On 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in 4th place and taking home a solitary point, we have Dig Out Your Soul by Oasis. So the dreams of beating Pulp have been totally snuffed here, and this is just a pleasant psychedelic record, no more, no less. It's just ignorable fluff really. 3 stars. Coming in 3rd place and taking home 2 points, we have We Love Life by Pulp. So this is a more folky, bucolic record with some nice pastoral elements. It's very contented, very middle-agey. Yeah, it's fine, but no more than that. 3 stars. Coming in 2nd place and taking home 3 points, we have Think Tank by Blur. So Graham Coxon is out the door on this one, and the band have changed their sound, basing the songs around kind of like low bass and beats. Yeah, I think it's really atmospheric, really well done, and tracks like Battery in Your Leg or Out of Time are just fantastic. So this is a pretty good record, 3.5 stars. Coming in 1st place and taking home the full 4 points, we have Night Thoughts by Suede. So this is the start of Suede's art rock period. Lots of sweeping strings and atmospheric texturing on this record, but tracks like Outsiders, No Tomorrow, Little Kids add a little bit of rock and roll and catchiness to the proceedings. Yet I think this is a really good record. I think it totally nails the atmosphere they're going for. 3.5 stars. So, if I may receive nude pictures of your wife and your attention directed at the scoreboard, Suede have retaken 1st place with 20 points, Blur are close behind with 19 points, ending their scoring run in 3rd place, Pulp have 17 points, and coming in last place, it's been confirmed, Oasis with 14 points. Round 8. So in this round, as you can see, we only have 2 records, so the scoring is going to change. 1st place is going to get 2 points, last place is going to get 1 point. And in this round we have The Magic Whip by Blur from 2015 and The Blue Hour by Suede from 2018, and they're both really good late period records. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in 2nd place and taking home 1 point, we have The Blue Hour by Suede. So this takes the atmospheric art rock of Night Thoughts and just pushes it onto its logical conclusion. Lots of sweeping strings, lots of like really dark kind of atmospheric ballads. This record sounds almost post-apocalyptic at times and almost like a indie rock opera more than a standard album, but for what it is, I think it's great. 3.5 stars. Coming in 1st and taking home 2 points, we have The Magic Whip by Blur. So this was Blur's unexpected comeback record. It was recorded in Hong Kong, and that Asian inspiration kind of seeps its way into the lyrics. It's got a good mix of styles on here. You have upbeat kind of Britpop tracks like Go Out and Ong Ong, but also these deep cathartic soundscapes of New World Towers, Ice Cream Man, Thought I Was a Spaceman, and Pyongyang. Yeah, I think this is a really great record. 4 stars. So, all eyes on the scoreboard once again. Of course, 3rd and 4th place don't change, but Blur and Suede have tied things up at the top, each with 21 points. Oh, this next round's going to be a bit controversial. Round 9, and well, shit, I guess there's something to be said for longevity, because in this round we only have 1 record left, and that record is going to take home a solitary point, and well, if you've been paying attention to the scoreboard, that is quite an important solitary point. And if you're out there saying, Chuchu, that's not fair, well, don't complain to me. Go complain to like Blur, Pulp and Oasis. You know, if they hadn't been such lazy fuckers and had still been here at this point in time, maybe they might be winning. But anyway, in this round we have Autofiction by Suede from 2022. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fight! Coming in first place and taking home the only point available, we have Autofiction by Suede, of course. And yeah, this is just a rollicking, rambunctious rock record, really loud, really energetic. The band sound as vibrant and as alive as they ever have. Plus there's a good post-punk streak of darkness on this. I think it's a really awesome late period record. 4 stars. So, if I may kindly ask you for the secrets of cunnilingus and to turn your attention to the scoreboard for one last time because the results are finally in. Oasis are coming in 4th place with 14 points. Pulp, 3rd place with 17 points. Blur, 2nd place with 21 points. And inching out the win, we have Suede with 22 points, which makes them the King of Britpop! So, the Battle of Britpop is over, and we have our winner, Suede, or at least my winner, Suede. But you know, despite the whole hokey, bullshit, completely meaningless nature of this tournament, I mean, it's utterly ridiculous, the fact is that it did play out in a relatively accurate fashion for me. I mean, in the end, this is a fair reflection of how I feel about these bands. But of course that won't be how you feel about these bands, so if you can, please tabulate your own scores in the same kind of format and sound off in the comment section about how you'd rank these records. If you can't be bothered to do that, and let's face it, who can be bothered to do that, just tell me who you think would win this Battle of Britpop, and also what your other favourite Britpop bands are. For me it would be Gene, Shed 7 and Divine Comedy. I think those actually would be my all-time favourite Britpop bands. Aside from that, like, share, subscribe and all that other kind of YouTube jazz. Make sure to take care of yourself, but most importantly, just keep on ranking.